We are living in the springtime of this movement from simple to complex in the great cycle of order to disorder, the ever evolving steps of evolution of life and the known universe. At this juncture in my life, all these individual parts of my quest have come together in this almost molecular, co-creative relationship to where my life, knowledge, wisdom, and art flow seamlessly in and out of one another. I feel as though an alchemical process has occurred within me and I'm conscious of the fact. It is the sum total of the parts of who I am that have melded into a profound, living, breathing experience of living life to its fullest. I feel I have achieved a unique understanding paired with a personal wisdom of my conscious self in relationships with myself, others, and with nature herself. I sense I have opened a window to some grander, brilliant continuum about life and the nature of consciousness. Increasingly aware, the observer and the participant are one in the quantum of life. Becoming more conscious on a daily basis, I have impact in my world by either creating or allowing within my reality. This is the final chapter in this journey of a lifetime where I've shared with you some of my more intimate, deeper, true stories that have had major impact in my life, extraordinary experiences, travels to far corners, and a personal spiritual pursuit. What was revealed to me so many years ago in the out-of-body experience to the core of the atom and the subsequent years of spiritual pursuit, I have developed a tool whereby we as individuals can reflect and contemplate how we individually structure our thoughts and feelings metaphorically to one of the crystal structures as defined in the 7 crystal systems of meteorology. Starting way back in the 1970s, at that moment, I was taken to the core of an atom in that raptured state of awareness, to then discovering the connection between the physical and metaphysical when I learned the language of science in my mineralogy courses. I was now able to communicate this grand understanding with a language. The language of science was to me the best way to explain this most indescribable mystical state. One could metaphorically say that my 2 halves met and were woken up. Which, like in quantum physics, quote, is it the particle or is it the wave? Are we observing or participating in life? End quote. There are many ways to say the same point. My Adam meets my Eve. My masculine meets my feminine. The electron is bonded to the proton. So much so that this cosmic dance of the understanding of science blended with my visions beyond this physical dimension, coupled with unbridled exploration for my art, I feel I found this deeper inner unity and harmony. Life is not perfect, but as a conscious person, I now realize how connected every particle is to one another in the known universe. We are, in the end, part of a continuum. We are, in the end, part of a continuum in this evolution of life, whereby we are constantly observing and participating in life at every instant. The ancient Greek word kristallis means crystal, but can also be heard as Christo, which means Christ, the illuminated one. So similar is a derivation of these 2 ancient Greek words in that they both illuminate light out into the world. The very principles of a natural mineral crystal, just by being itself, can be seen as a map that represents in symmetry, transparency, and brilliance the very act and state of being that we as humans live and dream by. We are one. Every particle is talking to every particle throughout our known universe. In this chapter, I will share a theory of what was born that night I was taken to the core of the atom. in that out-of-body, transcendental state showed me the very physics that makes up our own physical world of atoms and elements. The very stuff of our known universe can transcend the physical properties of matter and lift one's understanding to a place of self-realization. It was at this transcendental moment I came to experience the power of resonance and how the physical world is the final stage of manifestation. Resonances that set the stage for all patterns to form, from light to matter. After my own personal insight into this big history, I will formulate a much abridged version of crystallography to start you off on the part of science that is so embedded in my life and philosophy. Okay, this repeating pattern of atoms bonded three-dimensionally into molecules as seen in gemstones on our planet become highly refractive, transparent objects frozen in geological time in this end state. I have come to theorize that minerals and gemstones are the first idealized forms of matter on our planet, and they represent great cenotes of the book of life, representing where we are the zenith of this continuum. I like to use gemstones metaphorically as archetypes as to how we structure our lives personally, socially, and as a race of conscious beings emerging from this continuum of inorganic and organic life to currently reach this amazing pinnacle of consciousness itself. Human beings. There are 8 thresholds of transformation that set the stage for Earth to form and transform from energy into more and more complex systems. This is where big history took macro steps to becoming complex organic and inorganic forms of energy and life. I've included this to give you a greater sense of the magnitude of change that had to have occurred just to set the stage for the Earth to form, and for minerals and gemstones to be created on our planet, let alone how we as humans have evolved out of this cosmic soup. At this moment in deep time, we now are witnessing simplicity moving to complexity. We are living in the springtime of this movement from simple to complex, in the great cycle of order to disorder and bonding again in order. The ever-evolving steps of evolution of life and the known universe. The threshold moments, or portal transition, for our universe to exist as we know is given below in geological time. This is known as the big history.